Well, hi Ken, hi Nana.
Helena.
Hello.
Everyone. We're just having a beautiful moment of prayer here before we went live and had a little chat just to see what might come through because Ken and Nana hosted the movie gathering last weekend for those of you who may have missed it, but it was so beautiful. And the theme, I think, that's just been so present. I feel here in mind and the house, but definitely for all of us, is the theme you guys really shared about last week, which is love or a call for love. And it was, I think, a day or so after the movie gathering, we met here in the kitchen, and Ken, Nana, and myself, and it's like, wow, this theme is so present. Like it's been so present for us to just see the call for love. We're learning to see that whatever I'm perceiving is actually love or a call for love. And that can be such just a direct gateway or highway almost to heaven. Like, oh my God, if I can just see that every day for myself, then I can be guided by the Spirit if I just step back and let Him lead the way. And so, you guys did this beautiful movie gathering last Saturday about this beautiful demonstration of a little girl completely being in this defenseless state of mind and seemingly being tossed around between families and people, but actually it was just a beautiful opportunity for the mind to not see error and to just see that everything is love or a call for love. And then yeah, a couple days ago, or actually a couple days after that movie gathering, we started talking and I know Ken or Nana, one of you was like, oh my God, there's this other movie and it's the same theme, but it's like on a more like a mass scale demonstration. This movie last weekend was seemingly a girl in a family and seemingly just a few people um, around her, but this upcoming movie is more like seemingly a large scale, different self concept, but it's the same theme. Like it's the same theme. It's the same opportunity that this character has to answer the call for love or to let the Holy Spirit answer the call for love. I feel that's what I want to keep remembering. I'm not personally responsible. I can't personally answer any call for love because it's my own call for love. So I have to allow the Spirit to do it. And yeah, you guys were just sharing so many beautiful things already about the theme. And so I thought maybe you can just share a little bit about what we can expect tomorrow in the movie. But also maybe just even for you, like yeah, this theme seems to be so present in your mind also. It's like, what is it for you? Or what is the spark behind it? So yeah, maybe you want to share a little bit.
You want to start?
Yes. Well, mm, yeah, this movie, the second movie came to my mind, like I think the day after we had the movie gathering, and it came like, oh, I would love to watch that movie again, and I felt so much light around it and so much inspiration. And I think I we watched it before, and I think it became such so present in our mind, and such it's like a way shower movie about the character, the real character. It's based on a true story, real character. And I think it has been so impactful for us on our journey, even through our travels, and it's so deep. I think for me, yeah, as you were sharing and as we were sharing during the movie gathering, it's like looking beyond anything, any concept, any form, and going beyond that completely and really learning how to hear. And actually, it's so profound because the last quote I read during the movie gathering last week was like something like Jesus was saying, like, if you could actually hear and answer the call for love, the whole world would disappear. So this topic is no small thing, and I think that's why we feel so inspired. And I think the reason we are doing the second one right after the first one with this second movie is just we want, it's like a prayer in our mind. We want to open our mind fully profoundness of these teachings that Jesus is offering to us, and going beyond the concepts. And we have this main character that is, I would say that he would never be able to answer any call for love if it was his mind was not emptied, and if he did not go through healing and dismantling, so to speak. So now he's like using these different things like sports to answer the call for love, his own call for love, the mind's. It's not even personality like characters call for love, it's mind's call for love. So we also had these themes in the community. David has been showing these movies, different movies of like as an example of how different things can be used by the Holy Spirit to answer the call for love, to show us how limitless we are, how expensive we are, how much we have to give. We have like so many gifts. And I think this is like also a continuation of that. Like it's almost just mind-blowing how it's like almost, for example, Jesus uses sports not to address anything about the sports or anything about the form, but to go so beyond using this form thing to go into the core of what is the real problem in the mind, and to realize that who you think you are, it's like you don't know who you are, and who you thought you were, it's not actually true. So I don't know. So many things can be said about this, but I think these two movies are a big, like they complement each other, and also like a contrast experience as well. But it's all the same, right? And I think it's those of you who joined last week, and if you join us this week, it's like you have all the tools basically. Okay, no matter where you find yourself, no matter what is the situation, environment, both movies show you like, okay, what to do and how to do it. And of course it's prayer, it's not something informed, there is no formula. But we feel really fired up. I don't know if you have any thoughts there.
Yeah, I was just thinking as you were talking and we're sharing, the Course in Miracles says, you would rather hate than love. It is easier, he says, actually, it is easier for you to hate than it is to love. And I think this movie really shows an incredible transformation. And I think that's what we're all going through, from hate to love. And so, yeah, this character was in hate, and then he has to really go inward and realize that he's calling for love, and he doesn't know how to respond to that call for love inside of himself. And this is going to have a huge impact, but actually it's only actually for him. Redemption is for yourself. That's what you fear the most, as he says. Yeah, you don't fear hate, you don't fear fear, you love fear, but you fear redemption. And so he is just incredible, because he's in that situation where he has to completely change his mind from how he was thinking previously, and say, wow, there has to be another way. This is just complete textbook A Course in Miracles. This movie is, there has to be another way. He's on his knees like, wow, maybe I was wrong about everything that I was thinking, and maybe there is another solution, and the solution is in my own mind. I am the solution. And so we all have to recognize that we are the solution in any given situation, that the solution will come through you. Yeah, that call for love will come through you. And so I think in some respects, when you go into such a devastation like that, that you think, oh my God, I need an ignition in my mind to show me something else. So many have gone through that, from a devastating experience to an enlightening experience. They're like on the flip side. 1 minute there's the hate. Oh my God, I've just flipped. And there's the love. How did that happen? We've heard of all of those stories, and this is really, it's always our story. And for me, I think I was just sitting here as we were praying, and I watched this movie on the plane. We were going to Brazil, and Nana said, oh, you've got to watch this movie. So we decided to watch it, and just afterwards, I was so impacted. I was just like, I just didn't know what I was like, wow, oh my God, that was amazing. Like that top 5 movies by a mile. This is like, wow, this is so many incredible things run through this movie. And just as I was sitting here, I was remembering the impact of that again. Yeah, just sitting there thinking, wow, this is just so incredible. Like, you really can't play small any longer, because if you look at it from a character perspective, yeah, we really have no excuses. Yeah, even Jesus, actually, I read it today. He said, don't think you're no different than me. Yeah, I have no more skills than you do. Yeah, there's nothing different about me than there is about you. There's nothing different in terms of who you are. Yeah. Like, there wasn't anything special. That's what he was trying to say. There's nothing special about Jesus. Yeah. He is exactly the same as you. So that's why there's no excuses when that's why we awoke with him. Yeah. There's no difference. And so this movie is like, wow, you may look at it as a mass sort of thing. Like, oh my God, wow, how did he do that? But it's like, it's actually always you. And that's what I love about watching something about this. This is literally the power of your own mind. You can literally you can fully take back everything into your own mind and realize that it was actually only love. That's what happens when we take the projection back off the screen. And whatever it is, you take it back and you think, oh my God, I was mistaken. There's literally nothing there. And this seems like a big scale thing, but really that's all he does. And that's the task of us all, to take back what we thought was real is actually false.
I was just thinking too, because, I don't know, when you just said like, yeah, right, it's easier to say I hate you, or it's easier to hate and to love, like what Jesus says. And I thought, yeah, because it's like, oh, what is it then? Why don't we? Like, what's holding us back on answering the call or letting the Spirit answer the call for love? And then I actually thought about but you both actually, that you've traveled a lot in these last couple years. And I was just thinking, like, how can you answer the call for love except, like, you have to let go of the past. Like, you can't rely on the past. And you've shared a lot of parables here with us, even from your travels and the miracles, and how, I don't know, how you just had to step back and let him lead the way, because you can't even assume that you know how to answer the call for love in any moment. Like, I don't know if you have anything from that, but I just thought that feels like that's something so close to home. I feel, even in your own experience with that, meeting so many people, going all across Europe, going to South America, you went to Brazil. It's like, I don't know, like that just even like just popped into my mind. Like, yeah, that was probably a huge mind training like backdrop too. Like, how do I answer? How can I be truly helpful? Because every situation is new.
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing about it. You can't, if you go to wherever, another country, you don't know the background of these people, you don't know absolutely anything about them, and you've met them for a week and there's a call for love, then how do I know? I have no reference as to what is the answer here. Yeah, I don't know. And when we come together on that purpose for healing, it's very deep. So when we come together, whatever's not healed is going to start to rapidly come to the surface. And then it's like, well, okay, I don't know how to heal this, but it's just always keeping our minds clean, isn't it? It's like, we don't know. It's up to you. You lead us, Jesus. You're never in a house trying to, like, okay, let's solve this healing situation. Yeah, it just naturally works itself out, and you see how incredible the miracle is when you really do not know. So I think that's probably why this has been an incredible thing too.
Yeah, I think it's like last week, I was really touched by we showed the movie What Maisie Knew, and one of the things that I felt touched by was this letting go of control, because she was not even trying to be in control. I think that was not on her mind at all. But I think that's so much like relying on a miracle so completely. I think trials help with that, because you are in this environment and you don't know anything about anything, as Ken was sharing, and then you have to rely on a miracle, let go of control completely, and you don't know. Sometimes something comes through you and you don't even know, oh my God, is this gonna ruin everything right now or what? Like you don't even know what will be the outcome of the words that are comes through, because sometimes something comes very firmly, sometimes something comes in such a different way that is completely out of your own box as well. So I think that's part of it, like let go of control. And I think when you were sharing as well, I was thinking like, even this movie that we are going to show, it's like, and I was thinking about all of us, we all of us feel called to a mission, a function, and in form it looks differently, but it's almost like Jesus is saying, yes, you are here to serve the higher purpose, serve to do everything in alignment with what what is best for everyone, not for you personally. And I think that we are so used to like, this is what feels comfortable for Nana, so I'm gonna stay with that. This is what I prefer. But Jesus is like, you know, this mission takes no. It's almost like you have to go so much higher and think and pray about what serves the whole. And I think that's the difference. Like, I think to answer the call for love, I think that takes a deep prayer to let go of whatever preferences you have, whatever you feel comfortable about, whatever you think are your own best interests, and to open up to what serves the whole, basically what is. And I think through the trials, that's sometimes we face things that does not feel comfortable for us, but then we have to come to this humble place, and we it's like, okay, I prefer this, but I have no idea what will serve this situation or this healing. So I have to let go whatever I feel comfortable by or whatever I feel challenged by, and be willing to face and move forward towards anything really. And then I think through trials I learned so much about fear. Like I would have like, Jesus, I don't want to go in that direction. I just, no apparent reason, it just felt, sometimes it just felt dark to move in a certain direction. And then Jesus would be like, remember, you asked me to show you that fear is not real. So I'm like, okay, I want to really know that fear is not real. And I would move in the direction. And every time I found love behind that. There's this whale of fear that we are tricked by. And I think that's why we are not willing to answer the call for love, to not even hear it, because there is this illusion of fear and this illusion beliefs, illusory beliefs of the ego. And it's like we are so distracted by that that we're not even able to hear what is really asked of us. And then Jesus every time was like, yeah, I'm going to show you that it's not real. And every time I've seen it again and again and again and again. And I think with this character in the movie, it's like he knows that he has to serve the whole. Like his own personal relationships with his daughter, with his ex-wife, and all of it's not great, but it's almost like, no, what serves the whole? Because I know that if I move in the direction of what serves the whole, then everything else will be solved around it. That miracle will touch everything and everyone. And I think something about that rings I don't know, it really feels inspiring, going beyond all the concepts and all the self-interests and whatever, and opening our mind to, okay, what is this? What serves the mission, true mission, every one mission that all of us have. And I think that's what this character shows. And it does seem like it's a wider scale, but then we can also take it in terms of, yeah, whatever mission I seem to be having is the same. It's on the same scale. It's not smaller. It's not less important. It's the same. I have the opportunity and I have the power to bring the same blessing, to end the conflict forever in my own mind, to resolve it in a real way, to receive the true answer. So yeah, because this character, he doesn't rely on someone else to tell him what to do or what is the right thing. He has to find that clarity. And of course, he's listening to everyone. He takes everything in. I feel like he's very prayerful, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, like almost like what Jesus said, you are the dreamer of the dream. You know, the external world cannot tell you what is the truth. You have to come to that clarity and to that alignment, and then bring that gift. You cannot be distracted by the characters and different shadowy figures, what David was sharing the other day. It's you, it's you, it's you. And you see this character taking this role and using this role for the greater good in such a beautiful way. And what is the greater good? It's forgiveness. It's a movie about complete forgiveness and letting go of control and judgment and conflict. So it's like, for me, it's like lifting our mind high, 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 what serves the whole. I'm here to serve, because in our hearts that what makes us happy, because it's like we are, in truth, we are givers, and we are beings of being in service, because that's our true nature, to give and to extend, and that's the nature of service, being in service. So that, I think that's what lights us up, that's what inspires us, and that's what reminds us about our true identity. And I think that's why Jesus is always encouraging us, give, give, give. You can give yourself fully without any loss but only gain. That's why. And I think this character is so focused on giving, and of course things come up, but no, reorient your mind. This is your own interest, but what is the interest of the whole? So yeah, this is what comes to me, I think, as the answer to that. And I think it's tied into the whole travel thing. It's like, maybe we are not here to protect anything about personality self, but we are here to serve the whole. And by that service, this personality self is crumbled, and we realize that it's not us, basically, but it's like a constant practice of being in prayer for that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking too, because Dave's been talking a lot about letting go of the boxes, letting go of any limitations. And from what, I haven't seen this movie, so I'm kind of excited. I think I haven't seen it. I always forget. But yeah, from what I hear you guys talk about this past week too, I don't know, it is like letting go of any box and thinking this is how it should look, or like we don't know how it's supposed to look. And I feel like, from what I've heard, like this character is just going to demonstrate that there are no limitations. And I think that is always very helpful to see. I feel that with David all the time. He comes up with all these ideas to massive collaborations, bringing people together, but it's always to bless the whole. Like it's always, but it always feels a little out of the box too, so. And then Ken, I don't know if you want to share more, but you were just reading that beautiful quote. I don't know if you want to read it now or if you're going to save it for tomorrow. but yes.
Yeah, I love that, because it's, Jesus teaches us really that the messengers of love are inside of us, and same as the messengers of guilt. And it's a choice as to what we want to give and what we want to put our mind into. And just this morning, I was reading this section I was reading The Attraction of Guilt. And then just before this conversation, I thought, well, this is perfect for that call for love, because Jesus is really showing us to really look at just the time. Every interaction, there's love within it, even in a difficult situation. And I think that's the same as what you're talking about in traveling. You have to want to look for that. It's like being a detective. I remember I once said, yeah, it's like being Sherlock Holmes, really. Yeah, you just have to be like, okay, well, we just have to focus on the miracle. You can't focus on anything out there. You just can't do that. There's just nothing there, really. But you focus on the miracle, and everything will happen from that. And then everything comes naturally to you through that. But you're not really thinking about, how can I answer this call for love? But all I remember is that it is my call for love. So it's my mind responding to my mind. And okay, what do I need to heal this part of me, Jesus? Because I don't know. Maybe it's something new and different. But to learn to not intrude, that's the best thing, Okay, I will not intrude on this situation. And that's been the incredible thing. That's what I've loved, is that it's like Sherlock Holmes, and you look for the miracle, and then a tiny piece of the puzzle comes. Oh wow, that's why that happened. Oh, okay. And then the next piece of the puzzle comes, and then the next piece of the puzzle, and all the pieces of the puzzle are coming, as you were saying, because they're all serving the whole, and then everybody gets swept up in it. And just for me, the part that I've loved about that has been when that People you don't have to be in the Course in Miracles. I don't even tell people what I'm doing. I never speak anything about what I'm doing. And yet all of a sudden you start to see how things are starting to transform and change without even mentioning a word of anything. And just the joy that comes through, because you go there and you say, I want to serve the whole. This is a blessing for everyone. How do I know how to bless everyone? Even in the gatherings, it's like, well, how can I go around personally and bless 35 people in the room and make sure that they all got what they needed? Well, that's pretty much impossible, yeah. So it's like, okay, then Jesus, you have to bless them. So that's a beautiful thing. So this is probably related to that when we remember the messengers of love. So this is about the messengers of love. The Holy Spirit has given you love's messengers to send instead of those you train through fear. They are as eager to return to you what they hold dear as are the others. If you send them forth, they will see only the blameless and the beautiful, the gentle and the kind. They will be as careful to let no little act of charity, no tiny expression of forgiveness, no little breath of love escape their notice. And they will return with all the happy things they found to share them lovingly with you. Be not afraid of them. They offer you salvation. Theirs are the messages of safety, for they see the world as kind.
It's beautiful. It's just like a blessing.
Yeah. It's just keep looking for those tiny moments, isn't it? If we can just, and that's what I love. He's saying it's tiny. So that's okay. I can just look for that. There's always that moment's always there. So that's that's my learning from this today. Okay, stay with the tiny. It may only look small, but stay with that. Don't think about anything else.
Wow.
And that's everything, because that's where the peace is, and that's what Jesus offered sitting there today, and just remembering that it's really everything is all about peace, really. So simple. And it's okay, I'm just going to choose the peace. And Jesus says that's emanating all the time. Oh wow, that's emanating from you to all your brothers. That's wonderful then. Okay, that's all I can do then. That's my job.
Yeah. Oh, thank you both. I'm like, yeah. Thank you so much. Like, this feels like such a blessing and a gift, even just to share this. And did you have anything else, Nana?
No, I think.
It's going to be
Tomorrow to hear the rest.
Oh, yeah, there'll be more tomorrow. It's going to be a wonderful day tomorrow.
Oh
Yeah.
yes.
It's just
Definitely.
it will stay in your mind, and you'll just be like, yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Love you.
So hopefully see you tomorrow. Whoever's watching, you can join us. Links in the description. It's the movie gathering tomorrow, Saturday. So if you have no plans, this is, I think, would be a beautiful gift.
Definitely.
But thank you both for sharing all that. That's
So
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Love you.
Love you.
Love you.
Bye for now. Bye everyone.